My mother used to make this meatball for us when I was growing up every week, because it was easier for her to do. She used to be like a doctor for a baby when they born.
Like a midwife?
Like a midwife, yeah. Yes. So she used to go work very early and stay there until late at night. So late at night, when she come back, she used to make the meatball, because it is one of these dishes that when you make it the day before, it's like a lasagna. You make it the day before, the day after, when you warm them up, is even better.
Yeah, yeah.
So everybody at home that is busy, all those busy mom and dad, if you want to make meatballs, it's fantastic to reheat the day after. Really, really tasty.
Okay.
And
what's so special about them? What's her secret ingredient?
My mom's secret was about the mincemeat. Okay, whenever people make meatball, they usually use one type of mince. She always used to say to me, G, if you use 2 of them, you get the best of each meat.
So which
I'm using beef on this side and pork on this side. So what's happened? Beef gives you the texture, so when you roll them, they stay together. Yeah. But the pork, it gives you the natural fattiness and the juiciness that the meatball needs. Okay. So always use 2 kinds of meat. If you don't want to use pork, you can use beef and lamb, or you can use beef, whatever you want. Wild boar if you got it. You know, whatever you want. So you got the 2 things together. Secret is you need to have breadcrumb, very good for texture.
And you say fresh breadcrumbs,
fresh,
not dried.
Not the dry one, because otherwise you're going to dry the mince. And you know why they used to use breadcrumb in the old days, and they still do?
To bulk it up?
To bulk it up, because it was cheap. So any leftover bread that you have at home, don't throw it away. Just leave it the middle part, what we call it mollica, and then whenever you make meatloaf or meatball, you use it then and there.
And do you have to put breadcrumbs in it then, if you don't want to bulk it up?
You know what then we discovered during the year, as we were trying meatball with or without breadcrumb, the breadcrumb, it makes the meatball tender.
Oh, does it?
Yes, because it kind of breaks up between the meats. So I'm using grana padano.
What's that?
Cheese. It's from Rome.
Oh my gosh, you're putting cheese in it too.
Oh yes, cheese is very important. You can use Parmesan cheese or pecorino. I like to use grana padano.
What's that called? What?
Grana padano.
Oh.
Yeah, grana padano.
Grana padano. It's from the north of Italy, the Val Padano region in Italy.
It's like a mild parmesan.
It's a mild parmesan, bravo. That's what it is. It's a mild parmesan. Then we put eggs to combine everything together. Yeah. Crushed garlic, very important. Don't put it slicey, because otherwise you're going to have the bitter garlic. Salt, okay? If you got rings, only take your rings off, please. A little bit of black pepper.
I'm going to wash my hands.
All right, I'm going to start then. Now, once you are at this stage, parsley. I need parsley, please.
How much?
Get in there.
I'm going to use one hand.
Just chop away. Always one hand. That's very good point, because if you use 2 hands, at some point, you need to open a fridge or the phone ring, always use one hand. Now, in here, I'm going to prepare the sauce. Now, meatball, when you make meatball, what you need to appreciate is the meatball. So do not overcomplicate the tomato sauce. Tomato sauce, let me show you what you do. Extra virgin olive oil. You put a couple of pinches of chili flakes. Then chopped tomato, tinned chopped tomato for texture. And then passata, sieved tomato for color.
You do both?
Both of them, okay? So once you've done that, you put a little bit of salt, no need for black pepper.
Sorry, can I ask you didn't cook off that chilli first? You didn't bother?
No, because if it's a dry chili, it's absolutely fine. It will get softer in the tomato sauce.
Does that need to go in here?
Yes, please. Now, once you're at this stage with the sauce, guys, you put a little bit of fresh basil, cook it for 10 minutes, and the job is done. And then we're going to add the meatball. So let's pretend that this is being cooking for 10 minutes. Very slow, put the heat very slow. You want to cook it very little at a time. Meatball done. Now is the time to roll them. Holly, what we do, when you put the meatball in your hands, this size.
All right, okay.
Now, when you do it, one thing that you shouldn't do is to press too hard. The more you press, and the tougher the meatball is going to be. Gentle with the ball, so you roll it like that, okay?
Is that too big? That's too big.
It's okay. It's big, small, it's fine. Then you put it on the tray like that. I got a tray with a little bit of oil on the bottom, because my mother's technique...
Isn't it?
Yeah, a bit bigger. It's chunky one, that
right,
one.
that is
My mother's technique was never to fry them and put them in the tomato sauce.
Oh.
What's happened? If you now put them straight in the tomato sauce, they will break. So the other option you can do is to fry them off, but then the kitchen and the smell of everything. So what she used to do, not to make mess, because then she had to clean up and all of that, she used to put them in a tray, then switch on the oven, about 200 degrees, leave them in the oven for about 10 minutes.
Is that
so
it?
This is the way she used to firm the meatball before they used to go into the tomato sauce. So once you've done that, the meatball goes into the tomato sauce, okay? And at this point, guys, you want to cook them for about 15, 20 minutes.
With the lid on?
Yeah, with the lid on. But the secret is this. Always make sure that the tomato sauce are well into the... the meatball are well under the tomato sauce. Otherwise, they're going to be dry on top.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And the chilli you put in there, because obviously you think this is a family recipe, but that chilli isn't going to... It's not going to be spicy.
Oh, it's not going to be like spicy that
But
kids
it's
won't be able to do it.
Okay.
And it's something that you can take it out. My sister and I, Marcella and I, we used to love a little kick on the meatball. That's why she used to put it on. But if you don't like it, don't do it.
What was your
Just
mum's
put a
name?
bit... Alba.
Alba.
Alba is when the sun comes up. What do you call it?
Sunrise.
The sunrise, yeah. It's
Oh,
called
it's a
Alba.
beautiful
yeah.
name.
Yeah. And actually, I saw the picture that you showed before. I never appreciated. Oh, but that's my mum, so I probably would say that. How beautiful she was as a young girl.
Lady. She was beautiful. And also, can we just point out, can you take the strap off your feet? Because you are wearing Union Jack shoes. I mean, you were literally... Was that taken in Sheffield? As we all know.
I never realised
you
that.
Were wearing, you were destined to come here.
Oh, that is a sign.
Your
that
destiny was
destined.
already sealed.
Yeah.
Thank you for allowing me to cook my mother's recipe.
Oh,
Thank you for doing it.
Fantastic.
Come and do it any time.
Okay,
What do you serve it with?
So I like to serve this one when my mum, and I still do with my kids, I take the tray, I put in the middle of the table, fresh bread, and everybody does whatever they want.
Dunk.
Yeah, they dunk the bread in there. We call it scarpetta. When you put the bread into tomato sauce, it's called scarpetta.
Scarpetta.
and-
This smells so fresh. The tomatoes.
I mean, it's one of these dishes that is impossible not to love, meatball.
Your mother was a genius.
That's really lovely, Gino. Thank you
Not
very much.
available.
Thank you.
Oh.